gorgeous. I'm Jerry. Can you hear me? Can you hear me out there in beautiful Facebook land? Where are you? Where are you in the world? Tell me, tell me. Have we got Sweden in the house? Have we got Hawaii in the house? Or even Hawaii? Have we got England, the UK? Any France? Who? Where are America? How could I forget the beautiful United States? Australia? How are you? I was cracking up earlier. If you don't know Celeste Barber. Anyway, look, I'll come back to that tangent, okay? But you're in the right place if you want more effective work time, so that you can manifest both a successful business and more fun playtime. Who doesn't want more of that? More of all of that. All right, so I've got 3 steps, right? And following these steps help me to break through and reach my financial goals. So it's something I'm fascinated with, but also I've been interviewing, some of the world's leading people in the personal development world, best-selling authors, Dr. Joe Vitale, people who appeared in The Secret, all of these amazing people about not only creating an amazing, fantastic day every day, but being more productive and being able to create a successful business or a great day at work, whatever you do. So the first thing, we're going to count down from 3 down to 1. Number 3, and that is planning, okay? First of all, if you can plan your day the night before, and more importantly, like as soon as you sit down at your desk, have a piece of paper or a document that you always go to, which has either 1, 2, or 3. Some people say 1, some people say 3. Sometimes I just have one thing on my ta-da list, or sometimes I have 2 or 3. It depends how big that thing is, but have 1, 2, or 3 things that you're going to tackle first thing, so that you know that you've done something to move that needle, something that is going to something that's going to be super effective in creating the end results that you want to create in your business, right? For most people, that's sales or something, like creating opt-in pages or creating content. It's the important stuff, And then this is something I've been ranting on about quite a lot recently, and that is to obviously, have a 1-year vision. Where would you like to be? What would you love to have created? How would you love your life to be in 1 year's time? And get clear about all the juicy things you'd love, how you love your life to be. Put fun in there, who are you with, blah, blah, blah. And then bring it back to 90 days. What have you got to do in 90 days so that you can manifest that 1-year goal? And then bring it back to 30 days. Okay, what have I got to do in the next month, in the next 30 days, so that I can create that 1-year vision? Bring it back to the week. 7 days. What have I got to do this week? And then bring it back, and then, every day. What have I got to do today? What have I got to do today? So that's number 3. Have a plan. This is so that you can create this incredible life and super effective business, so that you're not in overwhelm. I remember a business coach many years ago. I was wearing being busy and overwhelmed and I've got a lot on. You know, I'd even go on my Facebook Lives and go, oh, I got a lot on, you know, and I was wearing it like a badge of honor. And I remember this business coach saying, you know, because I was enrolling people into a new program at that time, and this coach said, no one is going to be attracted to or want to buy from someone that's overwhelmed. You know, it's just a no-brainer. So, yeah, that was a huge aha for me. And I even now have a bit of a resistance to the word busy or telling people I'm busy, you know, and I used to change it to buzzy for a while. But there's working effectively. Now that brings me on to the second point. So number 3 is planning. Number 2, peace man. Number 2 is to, the first thing is to block tasks into chunks of time. So I love to work in blocks of 55 minutes, 55 seconds. And I set my timer. And when I'm working on something, I don't do anything. Like I have my phone on silent or even often on airplane. No distractions are going to happen. I'm just focused. Boom. And you know what? That shifted my business so much when I started to do that. Because before I was just like spinning plates. I was just like working hard for sure, but not creating the end results that I wanted to create. You know, not having powerful outcomes, effective outcomes. So we're back to the needle moving things. Now, when you can batch work, and so you might want to do like 2 or 3 batches of that 55 minutes, 55 seconds. And I just want to quote this book, Deep Work, which is really good actually, by Cal Newport. And I just want to read out a few things from here that really, so this was a quotation, which I love. Antonin Dalmachi Sertianges said this: let your mind become a lens. Excuse me. Thanks to the converging rays of attention, let your soul be all intent on whatever it is that is established in your mind as a dominant, wholly absorbing idea. I love that so much, and I'm going to expand on that. So I've been geeking out for a few years now on neuroscience, quantum physics for probably a decade, and epigenetics most recently, which is why I've, had all of these breakthroughs and ahas. There's a free training that you can have access to if you're interested in that. But basically, he's talking about the importance of batching time, whether it be for study or for working on, your business, or if you're writing a book or whatever. And it all comes back to myelin. What's myelin? Well, wait and I'll tell you. So the answer, why it's important to batch, the answer comes down to myelin. This is a layer of fatty tissue that grows around the neurons in your brain, acting like an insulator that allows the cells to fire faster and cleaner. To understand the role of myelin in improvement, keep in mind that skills, be they intellectual or physical, eventually reduce down to brain circuits. Excuse me. This new science of performance argues that you get better at a skill as you develop more myelin around the relevant neurons, allowing the corresponding circuit to fire more effortlessly and effectively. To be great at something is to be more myelinated. I love that. So as Joe Dispenza says, thingamajigs that fire together, wire together. Neurons that fire together, wire together. You know, when you have an aha moment. So the understanding is important because it provides a neurological foundation for why deliberate practice works. By focusing intensely on a specific skill, you're forcing the specific relevant circuit to fire again and again in isolation. Now, this is huge, right? There are people that say that your job might be taken away or your business might be taken away by robots. Now, don't shoot the messenger here, okay? But this is potentially where the world is going. When you have these kind of skills, you ain't gonna be able to there ain't no robot that's gonna be able to be better than you, okay? So, we have advanced from this elevated, okay, so you know that quotation, I'm gonna read that again because I just love it so much. Let your mind become a lens. Thanks to the converging rays of attention, let your soul be all intent on whatever it is that is established in your mind as a dominant, wholly absorbing idea. Now, in reference to that, we have advanced from this elevated metaphor to a decidedly less poetic explanation expressed in terms of oligodendrocyte cells. There's a pronunciation for you. But this sequence of thinking about thinking points to an inescapable conclusion. To learn things quickly, you must focus intensely without distraction. To learn, in other words, is an act of deep work. If you're comfortable going deep, you'll be comfortable mastering the increasingly complex systems and skills needed to thrive in our economy. If you instead remain one of the many for whom depth is uncomfortable and distraction ubiquitous, you shouldn't expect these systems and skills to come easily to you. One more bit of juice here. Are you loving this? Give me a like if you're liking. If you like, I like. The problem this research identifies with this work strategy. So you know when you're like flitting around, like I remember when I used to be a secretary flipping 2 or 3 decades ago, right? And you'd go, oh yes, and I'm multifunctional. Like that was a really good thing. And obviously nowadays it's not. It's about flow, baby. And that's the other beautiful thing of blocking out your time. You can enter that flow state. So listen to this. The problem this research identifies with this work strategy is that when you switch from task A to another task B, your attention doesn't immediately follow. How cool is this? A residue of your attention remains stuck thinking about the original task. This residue gets especially thick if your work on task A was unbounded and of low intensity before you switched. But even if you finish task A before moving on, your attention remains divided for a while. How flippin' cool is that, man? So there you go. The 3 steps to a more effective, successful business and more fun time is Number three, have a plan. Number 2, batch out your time. And number 3, number 1. So 3, 3, 2, 1, ta-da! Is to start with the end in mind. As my lovely friend Dr. Stephen Covey said in his book, The 7 habits of highly effective people. Start with the end in mind. Have a vision. What are you doing all of this for? You know? And I kind of hinted at this in when I talked about your 1-year vision, you know. What's your 10-year vision? What's your legacy? What's your 5-year vision? Your 3-year vision? But what would you love? What's the end result? What are you doing all of this for? You know, what's your mission? Is it tied in with your values? Have you got a why? Is it making you leap out of bed in the morning? And if it's not, DM me, contact me, because I have a lot of magic to share with you. And I want you to create what you love, because you know what? That's what you're here to do, to create what you love. Now, what's the sexiest thing and the least sexy thing? Which one shall I start with? Most sexy? Unsexy. Let's start with unsexy. The least sexy thing is overwhelm, busyness. It's like a radio. You remember on the old-fashioned televisions, and you know, you kind of turn on a channel and there was all this fuzz. That's the energy of overwhelm. It's not sexy, it's not groovy, and it's not allowing you to create the life you love, the business you love, the career, the purpose-driven life. None of those things. What's the sexiest thing? What do you think it is? Okay. It's what is in this sexy, gorgeous smoothie. Cacao. Chocolate, the purest, 100% pure, organic, ceremonial grade cacao, which is the only kind that I put in my smoothies and I use in my ceremonies. And DM me if you'd like to attend one of our shamanic circles, shamanic cacao ceremonies. This food, as well as it being a superfood, as well as it being full of beautiful chemicals like anandamides, which are the bliss chemicals, serotonin, lots and lots of things like that. This is the only food that allows your brain, your right brain and your left brain to connect, so that you're bringing love into all of your work. You're bringing, how else can I put it? Creativity, the imagination. Your logical brain and your imaginative brain are connecting. And it's the sexiest thing. So thank you so much for joining me. And have an amazing day. And, you know, let me know what was the juiciest thing that you got from this live today. You know, what was the takeaway? What did you get that you're going to take forward into your day, your week, the next 3 months, so that you can create an amazing vision, an amazing year, so that you will be in the end result of what you love in a year's time. So that's number 3, plan. Number 2, batch, block out your day. And number 1, what's the end result? What are you doing all of this for? All right, lots and lots of love. See you next time, and thank you for watching. Bye now.